So it's that time of the year where we're going to share some spooky stories, but it's also that time of the month where we're doing a collaboration.
Yes, and we have a new visitor this month. It's John and Caroline from the Grand Shamrock Tour. Check them out.
Yep. So check them out and also check out all the other channels that are in this collaboration. Let's talk spooky stories. We got 3 of them for you.
They're not really spooky. They're scary.
They're scary.
Yeah.
These are 3 things that in our 8 years of RVing
have been scary
to
us.
And you're gonna want to stick around for the last one because it's the first time that we ever encountered it, and I hope we never have to encounter it again.
All right, so
let's dive in.
Okay. So we were traveling to the beach with his sister and husband and the kids. So we were in the lead and we were almost there. So we're going down the windy road and Jerry comes around a corner and we look up and there's a truck and it's got its reverse lights on and it's coming right back for us. So Jerry slams on his brakes.
And not only is he coming back, but he is like hauling downhill.
Yes.
As we're going downhill.
Yeah, so all of a sudden we know that Rob and Muggy are behind us. We just didn't know how close they were. So when we got to the campground, Jerry's sister came over. She's like, we were this far underneath your tire.
Right, so as this van or truck was coming back at us, knowing Rob's behind us, Rob and Muggy are behind us, I kept thinking, well, surely he'll see me pumping the brakes. And then all I hear is, ouch! Yeah. And we lock up and I look in the mirror and all I see is smoke behind us.
And their trailer. We couldn't see their truck.
Right.
Yeah, so that was scary because we could have lost a lot.
And they actually said that the front bumper of their truck was underneath the spare tire of our travel trailer.
Now it does stick out.
Well, it sticks off the bumper.
But it's still scary because it could have gone right through our trailer.
Yeah, that was super, super scary because you're just not expecting people to drive backwards at you.
No, not at all. Mm-mm. Nope.
So story number 2, Teresa, we were setting up at, ironically, the same exact park we were going to in story number 1.
Oh yes, it was.
Only this time it was just a weekend,
right?
Just us. And we got into camp and we were setting up. And for some reason, I only chalked one side of the trailer. And all of a sudden, I was using our electric tongue jack.
No, mind you, I was already in the trailer.
Right. She's inside setting things up. And all of a sudden, first, the trailer fell all the way down. Luckily, it landed on the little platform which I had extended. Shifted everything over to the left. So now I went and I bought for $60 a crank jack and we're putting that on now. So the electric tongue jack breaks. And so I'm trying to figure it out and I'm moving blocks and everything. So I get down on my knees and I was moving the blocks underneath and the entire trailer slid sideways and dropped. The trailer fell. The trailer fell. The trailer fell.
Yeah, and I was sitting and then boom, and I go running outside because I didn't know what happened.
Right, and it dropped to where the hitch was about that close from the ground.
Yeah.
And right in front of my knees, and everything slid to the left where I was. And luckily, I basically just rolled out of the way, and then it just stopped.
Right. Well, and lucky for us that the guy at the campground had a big old jack and jacked it up for us so that we could put the stuff underneath.
Yeah, the park ranger came by because he heard the crash. And luckily, he had a really good floor jack.
Yeah.
And we piled up a bunch of blocks that he got from the shop and ran into town and had to buy
an old crank,
an old manual tongue jack, but it got us through the weekend. And we checked the frame and there was no damage.
No, but
thank goodness.
It was scary because he could have gotten really hurt.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get crushed that day.
It's not good. Okay.
Okay.
Our last one.
The spooky story you've been waiting for. And I'll just remind you before we tell the story, after we're done, check out all the other channels in this collaboration. They got some great spooky stories, I'm sure, because some of them have been doing this longer than we have.
Oh, yeah, a lot longer.
So we'll see what they've got to offer. But here's another scary story. And like I said in the teaser, that's only happened to us once. And I hope it never, ever happens again. We were traveling this last summer and we picked a campground around the Chicago area because we were going to a Cubs game. So we found a place, went to the website. The pictures made the place look great. The website looked great. A couple nights before we arrived, we called the office to let them know that we would be arriving late. And the gal on the phone sounded very pleasant and said, yep, just show up.
We've checked you in already, so
everything's fine. Now, they didn't tell us where to go. They didn't give us a site number. Nothing. But they said, just come on in. So I assumed, like most campgrounds, they've got a late check-in board.
Right, with your name and your spot.
Yeah, you pull the little map and...
Exactly.
And you all have been doing it if you've been RVing in for any time. Everything's fine. So we drive, follow the GPS. It took us right to the campground. Well, no. It wasn't what the website promised. And so Teresa said, well, maybe the office is around the corner. So we pulled in, 41 feet of trailer, 20-something feet of truck. And as we pulled in, we quickly realized that the roads got more narrow. Everything's fine. Yeah, no offense, but this place was sketchy at best. And there were some weird characters walking around.
Fixing their cars, and it was...
Yeah.
I was like...
Appliances out on the front yard is usually a giveaway. But we had to keep going straight because we couldn't back up. And the deeper we got in, the more narrow and the more broken down cars and vans up on cinder blocks and whatnot we encountered. Well, needless to say, we finally got back out and I found the office. I walked up there, and as I'm walking to the office, I look back and Teresa's locking all the doors, getting all the windows up.
I was like,
because there are sketchy folks like everywhere. It was like zombie land.
Yeah.
Get to the office. Office is closed. No check-in board.
No one's answering the phone.
Nobody's answering the phone. So I got back in the truck. We Googled the nearest Walmart.
We did.
And got the heck out of there. Everything's fine. Went to Walmart and ended up finding a KOA over in Illinois and stayed there the next 2 nights.
But that was very scary.
But it was so scary that I was just like, nope.
I'm glad we didn't get there like at night.
No, and we did find what we think was supposed to be our site.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was only 3 sites available. And, well, there's a picture of it right here. Yeah. And there's no way we're getting in there.
Never.
And we might have got out, but Who knows?
No, and I wasn't going to leave the dogs there.
No, and we were going to be there 2 nights.
Yeah.
So that is the scariest thing that's ever happened to us in all of the time that we've ever RV'd. And like I said, hopefully we never experience that again. Now, we learned a couple lessons. Number 1, always double check using Google Earth.
Yes.
Or something that's a little bit more current, and don't always trust the websites.
Right. All right. Well, that's it for this collaboration. We hope you enjoyed our scary stories.
Yeah.
Now-
Everybody have a safe, happy Halloween, and
See you next month.
yep.
Bye. Hey, Jared.
Don't hate Jared.
Okay, go.
So.